Hello everyone, welcome to Funch. In this tutorial session, we will be exploring the process of designing a user-friendly payment checkout interface for a hypothetical online sneaker shop using the popular design tool Figma. In addition, we will be creating a small prototype that will enable you to bring your designs to life and simulate how your users will interact with your product. This is the prototype that we'll be creating today. So without further ado, let's dive into designing. Okay, let's get started with this project. First, what you want to do is you want to import the starter pack files that we have provided in the description, so make sure to copy them and to paste them into your Figma. I'm just going to paste them here and we can start designing. So first, what you want to do is you want to get a desktop frame and just get it here. Let's give this file a name. So this is the checkout UI. And we can name this checkout page. There we go. And we can start designing now. Okay, first what you want to do is you want to add two layout grids. So the first one, we're gonna add columns. We want 12 of them. And I want a margin of 64 and a gutter of 16. There we go. And the second layout grid are gonna be rows. Also 12 with a margin of 64 and a gutter of 24. There we go. Be fine. We have our layout grids positioned and we can start designing. So let's design the navigation here. I'm just gonna create a frame, click an F, and let's scale it all the way. There we go. We can name this navigation. And let's add our logo here. As a beginner, you can copy the logo and just paste it here, position it in the middle. There we go. Okay, that's set up and we can start designing the navigation links here. So for fonts, we're going to be using Seagull UI, and for body, we're going to be using Varta, and for the navigation, we're going with Seagull. Let's start designing them. The first is going to be men. Let's change the font family here. Seagull UI 16 pixels and line height should be auto. And let's text center this, and there we go. Okay, let's copy this one more time. Woman, copy it, kids, oops, and the fourth one should be sale. And there we go. Let's align them and give them a straight horizontal spacing of 48 pixels. And at sale, we're going to have like a small text next to it. Let's add 10 font size, and this should be 5% off. And let's give this this green color, indicating that there's a sale. And the percent should be in front of it. There we go. Small mistake by me there. Let's position it 2 pixels away from this, and there we go. Looking good. Let's leave it as regular. Disable the grid. Looking good. And before we group them, we want to set the font weight to semi-light. Okay, now we can first group these two elements, and then we can check the spacing one more time. 48, and we can group them. Make sure to position them in the center, both vertically and horizontally. There we go. Okay, let's now add our icons. So we're going to be having a search, favorite, and cart. So just copy these, and I'm just going to paste them directly into our design here. There we go. Let's copy them and just place them properly into this navigation frame. Let's delete these and let's give this some color. So let's copy this second text color and let's apply it to the text here. So just go to your selection color and paste it. There we go. You can also paste it to your icons. It should be the same color though, so it's all good. Let's activate our grid holding Control Shift 4 and disable and enable it. And okay. Okay, so we're going to be having 3 card items here. So since we're going to be having 3 card items, we should indicate that our card has 3 items in it. And we're going to do it like the following. So I'm just going to create a frame here. It's going to be 10 pixels. And I'm just going to write a text inside it. And it's going to say 3. And let's give this a font size of 3. And you can give this a fill. Give it just a random green color for the moment and just round it. Okay, maybe we can scale it to 12, just a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. I'll make sure it's positioned in the properly. Okay, that looks good. Let's give it a white color here. Let's give it a smaller font size, just slightly, maybe 8 here. Do the trick. Just need to experiment a little bit on your own. Find what works best. Let's try 10. Yeah, 10 would be working good. And let's position this at the top next to the cart. Yeah, 2 pixels should be working just fine. There we go. And let's position this properly here. So let's position this right on the grid. I can select all of these and just distribute horizontal spacing and give them a spacing of 32. Maybe 32 is a little bit excessive, so let's try 24. Let's group them and then make sure they're positioned in the middle. There we go. Let's disable the grid, Control Shift 4, and we have our navigation set up. Okay, perfect. So below this navigation, we're just gonna have a promotional component here, and it's gonna be similar like the navigation. Is gonna be full width, but it's going to have a slightly grayish color. So let's write up the content, and it's going to go like this: free shipping for members, get a membership card. Oops, membership card. There we go. Let's give it some auto layout. So hold Shift A and give it 16 top and bottom, and you can just manually scale it all the way. And you can set the auto layout to center here and select your text and centered. So let's position it. Oops, we want to position this right below the navigation, so we want no spacing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's give this the same. Oops, we need to change the font size to 16. So auto, let's go with 14 maybe. Yeah, 14 should work well. There we go. Let's apply the same font color here. There we go. And we want to add a fill, and we want something slightly gray. There we go. Okay, let's copy the blue color, or blue primary color here, and just apply it to this text here. There we go. We can remove the auto layout. You don't have to have auto layout on it. Okay, looking good. Okay, now we're going to be creating our card elements, our card title, card description paragraph, and the card items as I said. So let's do that. Let's activate the grid. We're going to be using this grid just for positioning and scaling things more efficiently. So I'm just going to copy the first element and just paste it here. There we go. And let's scale this image just a bit. I think, okay, we don't have to scale it. I think it's looking good already. Okay, so let's position this following. You need to add the title here, so it's going to say cart. It should be in COUI, by the way, and it should be 20 pixels regular. There we go. Let's go with semi-light here. No, okay, we can go with regular. And let's copy the text color here and apply it to cart. There we go. Let's copy this down, and we want to add some description here. So check your cart items before proceeding to payment. You want to change this to 14 font size, and you want to position this around 8 pixels below it. There we go. Let's copy this font color from this navigation and apply it to this as well. And looking good. Okay. Let's activate our grid. So now we're going to be designing our name of the product, size, amount, and the price is going to be on the right. And we're going to be having a remove here and edit order. So let's start doing that. So I'm just going to write up here the name of this shoe. So it's Nike Air Max 270, and this should be 14 Varta. There we go. And the thing for Varta we're going to be doing is that we're going to be editing this font in our liking. So let's select this fixed size here, and we're going to adjust the size accordingly. So you can see we have like almost 3 pixels spacing on the top, and at the bottom it's a little bit too much. So let's add 3 pixels approximately. There we go. Let's position this 16 pixels away. There we go. And let's copy this down, and this should be 13 pixels. Auto. Let's scale it all of it here and edit the size again. So here we're having 3 pixels, and this should be size 9.5. It's a little bit tricky when you do these things, so since we don't have our style set up, we have to go like this approach. And for the size, we're going to be needing an icon here. So let's get one. We're going to need a chevron. So this one, just copy it and just paste it here next to it, align it. Should be 4 pixels away. There we go. Let's select this fill here and just apply it to both elements. There we go. We can group this and I'll position it 8 pixels below the title of the product. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate our grid here. And let's try to make this look a bit better than it is. So let's scale this image slightly larger to 95. And scale the image here as well. And there we go. You can see that's aligned in the grid perfectly. And we can use the grid now to position our elements correctly. So there we go. And what we want to do now is we want to design for the amount here. So I'm just going to write up the content here. So this should be amount 1. Let's select the fixed size and just give it a slight edit here. And let's add the plus and minus here. So these 2 icons, just copy them and place them so the minus to the left and the plus to the right. Let's select these, align them, and distribute horizontal spacing, and it should add 8 here. Group these and align it to the grid here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and let's also design the price. So let's write here $160 for this shoe. Let's adjust the size as well. Align to the left. And there we go. Let's apply some colors here. So let's copy this first text color and apply it to text here. So just hold Control Shift, select it, and there we go. Okay, we're going to be needing a trash icon here, a bin, sorry, however you want to call it, and just place it below the content. Should be 16 pixels. Activate the grid. Should be positioned perfectly. And there we go. Next to it, we're going to have another text, and it should be edit order. 13 pixels. Although let's fix this height, font size. There we go. Let's align it and get 20 pixels. Let's give it light here. Let's disable the grid with holding Control Shift 4, and we can just copy this blue color here and apply it. Okay, that's looking good to me. The only thing this component is missing is a line. Oops, is a line below it. So let's design one. Let's activate this grid and just click L, align here, and scale it all the way the price here. And let's give it a spacing of 32. There we go. On this line to be 0.5 width, and let's give it a slightly grayish light color. There we go. That's looking good. And now you can group this all together, and you can copy it more times. You can see how you can reuse these components to quicken up your design very, very efficiently. Let's give them a spacing of, let's go with 40 pixels, maybe. Select all 3 elements, and since they're 32, just add 40. And if this spacing is not showing up, you just need to distribute vertical spacing, and it's going to distribute the spacing evenly, and you can then edit it here at the input. Okay, let's now give this images change. So let's add the proper images. Just copy the rest of the two and paste them. And let's check the size. So it's 95 pixels by 95, and our pictures are 87. So let's just adjust them quickly. Scale this slightly, center it. Hold Shift to size them evenly at both sides, so you can hold Shift. And let's copy this and paste this here. And let's change the name here. So Nike Air Max 90. Make sure to align it to the left here. All elements. There we go. And this should be Nike Air Cross Trainer 3 low. There we go. Let's scale it full width and then box it again and just adjust the size. So 3 pixels below the text. There we go. Let's adjust the proper pricing here. So this should be 130, and this should be 125. There we go. Let's delete this. I'm gonna be needing those. Okay, we have our product set up here, and we can now design the payment. So let's copy this to the bottom, Let's check how everything is aligned. So let's align this properly here. There we go. Let's give this a spacing of 40 pixels. Should be payment. Line to the left as well. Line these to the left as well. There we go. Let's design the payment options. So we're going to be having two payment options. We're going to be having the button here. We're going to say add payment card. So let's design it first actually. So just copy this and write add payment card. Add 14 size and auto. Let's give this the same blue color. There we go. Let's grab the icon that we're going to be needing. So this plus here, just copy it. These are mostly feather icons. You can also check out the plugin, select your frame and paste it. Make sure it's inside the frame. Select both of these and align them, and let's adjust the spacing to 8 pixels. There we go. You can group these and align them properly with the title here. Let's add 40 pixels of spacing. Let's align this in the grid. There we go. Make sure the text is aligned to the right. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's pull this a little bit up so we have more space to work with. Hold shift so you move it evenly up. Okay, well now let's get our card images here. So let's get the Visa first one. Select your checkout frame and paste it. There we go. And let's write the content here. So we're switching back to Varta. Visa debit card should be Varta. And this should be 16 pixels. Let's go with 16. Let's go 14. Yeah, why not? Make sure the letter spacing is 0 so it's more readable. Let's adjust the size here, so 3 pixels below it. There we go. Let's position this. Should be 12 pixels away. Copy this one more time. Actually, wait, you don't need to copy it. Control Z. Let's create a frame around all of this. So activate your grid and just create a frame, a big one. Let's group this elements. Let's add auto layout holding Shift A. Let's add 16. Try 12. Let's add 12 pixels spacing from the top, and let's expand this all the way. You can disable the grid now. Auto layout, sorry. And let's add a stroke here. Let's disable the grid for the moment. And let's add a corner radius of 4 here. And let's select this line here and get the color from it. So hold Control, drill down more easily, and add the stroke color here and adjust it to 0.5. There we go. Okay, now we can write up some card information here. So let's write up some stars here indicating that this is the card of the user, and let's just add the last details here, and this should be 13 pixels. Auto, let's adjust the size. There we go. Let's give this some grayish color, something like that. There we go. Let's position this. Let's position this line it to the left, to the right, and position it 200 pixels from the left. There we go. You can hold Alt to check the spacing. And what we need here is this selector icon, and just select your frame and paste it. And let's position it 20 pixels away from the edge. There we go. And we have our card designed here. So let's position it approximately 16 pixels from the title. And let's copy it down one more time. And let's change the image here. So this is MasterCard. Copy it and paste to replace. And let's write here MasterCard. Let's change the last digits here. There we go. And what you want to do now is you want to select this icon, select this circle, and just delete it. Don't have to delete, you can also hide it. And let's give the stroke some grayish color, indicating that it's not selected. There we go. Okay, we have this side of the project design. Now we're going to design for the summary. So let's activate our grid. Let's copy this title and position it here and write up summary. And we're going to be needing promo code input here. So let's design it. Let's design the label first. So just write here promo code. And this should be Varta 13 pixels, auto, and 0 here for line spacing. And let's check the sizing here and just adjust it accordingly. And let's position it a little bit up, and let's design the input here. So let's just create a frame here. Actually, we can let's think about this. Yeah, let's go with the text. So let's write here some promo code examples. So let's make it like 16 digits. And let's activate. Let's first adjust the font size. Should be 14 pixels, auto. And now we can, so 4 pixels below it and 14 pixels. Box sizing, and let's activate all layout. So hold Shift A. Let's add 12 pixels, top and bottom, and let's scale it all the way to the edge of the column here, and just add a stroke. And we can disable the fill for the moment, the grid, sorry. And we can position this below the promo code. Should be 8 pixels. There we go. Let's add this 393939 color to the promo code. And let's select this line color, DC, and add it to the stroke here. 0.75. Let's try 0.5. Yeah, let's go with 0.5, and let's give it a corner radius of 4. There we go. Let's disable the text visibility, and there we go. We can disable the all layout now, and let's design the button that will be inside the input. And for that, we're going to be needing an icon, this icon, this plus icon. So let's go back, paste it into your frame. Let's position it here. Let's design text here, so it should be apply. Let's adjust this. There we go. Let's activate all layout, just scale it. And disable it now, and just put this next to the text. Should be 8 pixels. And let's align them and group this. Still not aligned perfectly. Yeah, let's go like this. Oops, yeah. Need to change this as well. when we align it now, should be good. Yeah, it's already aligned. So let's give this center this and position 16 pixels from the right and 16 pixels from the left. So 2, 3, 4. Center it one more time, and there we go. Okay, let's give this button a blue color so we can copy it from this. But before applying it, we need to change something here. So we need to select our icon, and let's add a white fill here, and the stroke should be white as well. And if you like drill down into your button here, you can see that there are lines here. You can select them by holding Control Shift, both of them, and add a blue color to them. And now we can actually apply the blue color to this button, and we can also change this to white. There we go. Let's give it a corner radius, expand the options, and add 4 here and 4 here. So there we go. We have the promo code input designed, and let's design the summary details here. So activate a grid, and let's write here total. And let's copy this, align it to the right, so 415. You can group this, copy it down. Let's write here shipping, fix the size, and shipping is $15. And let's copy this down, and this should be total cost. Scale it full, and then select the box again, and this should be automatic by now. And 430 here for the total sum. Let's position this 12 pixels. Let's disable the grid, see how it looks like. Okay, let's copy this promo code color here and apply it to both texts. There we go. Apply it to this as well. And let's create a line here. We're going to be needing a separator here. And there we go. Should be away 24. Let's try 16. Yeah, let's go with 20 pixels. There we go. There should be 20 as well. And let's edit this line. So 0.5. Select this line, DC, 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 and just apply the same color. There we go. And that's designed. So let's give this proper spacing here. So total should be, select all of these, group it, and just position it 32 pixels. Let's see how that looks like. Yeah, let's give it 40. There we go. Okay, let's design the buttons now. We have 2 buttons here, so let's activate the grid. Let's create a frame around this and write some text inside it. So pay. Oops. And this should be 16 pixels. Let's edit the size here. So we need 4 pixels below. There we go. Let's position it in the center, align the text center, and we can activate auto layout to this button. So hold Shift A and add 16 pixels top and bottom, and you can disable it now. So we can activate auto layout one more time. Let's try 12. 12 looks much better. Let's disable it now. Now let's add a fill here. It's custom one, random one, sorry. Now let's grab our second primary color here. 2222 F. Let's give this text a white color. Let's give 4 pixels corner radius. Let's position this approximately 30 pixels away. Let's give this semi-bold. Copy this down and position this 16 pixels below the A button, and this should be A with gift card. And let's give this lower priority, so let's set it regular. Let's copy the gift card icon here. We don't actually have one, but that's not a problem. We can pull up feather icons real quick. We can grab a gift here. So gift, there we go. Let's put it into our icons. Let's scale it to 20 pixels. Now you can see how I do actually edit these icons. So I hold Shift and Control, select all the vectors graphics created, and just add 0.4 stroke. Let's position this into our little design system correctly, and let's copy it. And let's check. Yeah, it's a little bit too much with the width, so let's edit it 1.2. There we go. So edit it to your liking and paste this here. Let's give it a, actually we can give this the same color to this icon, you'll see why, and to this as well. And let's disable the fill and add a stroke, and this stroke should be 0.5. There we go. Let's position this correctly, align them, and add a spacing of 8 pixels. And let's edit the size of this font and just align them again. You can group them now and align them at the center in the component button. There we go. Okay, our design is almost ready. Let's check the spacing. This should be 24 pixels away. There we go. Our design is actually ready. So the only thing missing here is the prototype. So let's prototype this thing. This is very fun. Let's add the X here. Missing the X. So just paste this here and align it to the right. Let's activate the grid, Ctrl+Shift+4. And there we go. Let's give it this icon color, 393939. Let's deactivate the grid, Ctrl+Shift+4. And there we go. We're complete now. Let's copy this frame. And prototyping works like this. So the first prototype we're going to be creating, when we click this X, this should disappear. So basically that's what you do in prototype. So you actually delete this in a way. And let's just delete it. And let's move these items a little bit up. Should be 48 pixels. Let's create the prototype now. So select this frame and create a flow starting point here. You can also give it a name. So let's give this like checkout prototype. And let's actually prototype this. So select this X, and there's going to be a plus here, and just point it to the next frame. It should be on click, and the animation should be smart animate here. There we go. And let's continue prototyping this. Let's copy this one more time. And if you remember, when we designed this input, we left some text inside it. So hold Control to drill into it and select the text and reveal it. There we go. Let's continue to prototype this. So select your input and point it to the next frame. It should be smart animate. Everything should be the same. Let's prototype this one more time. So just copy this. So after we click on this button, we should add some text, and then we should apply it. So when we click apply, select this component and point it here. We should get a notification here that we have successfully applied the promo code. So let's design for that scenario. Let's write here, discount applied. This should be 13 pixels. Although, let's edit this real quick, and let's get an icon for this. So we have this check, copy it, and just place it next to the text here. Align them, group them. Let's get this green color from here so you can see everything is very reusable when you design this type of things. And let's activate the grid, Control Shift 4, and place it right on the grid, and it should be 4 pixels away. There we go. Let's disable the grids. So okay, so let's continue with our prototype. Click prototype. So after we click apply, this should be applied and this should possibly disappear. So let's disable it, or we can leave it actually, and let's copy this. And after it's applied, this notification should disappear. So let's delete it. Select your whole frame in this situation, go prototype, and go in the middle of it and select the arrow and just point it to the next frame. So it shouldn't be on click now, it should be after delay. So after 1800 milliseconds, this should smart animate by itself. So after delaying this, it should become into this frame, so this should disappear. So let's try out our prototype here. Play it, and let's extend it here to full screen. Now let's try it out. Let's click on the X. This disappears. Let's add the promo code. Let's apply it. And it disappears. There we go, guys. The whole project has been designed and prototype. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want more of these type of tutorials, make sure to hit that subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.